Boom, boom, boom. Abby, what's up?
Hey,
How you feeling?
I'm I was doing amazing until around like 4 o'clock.
Come
Then
on.
the body started aching, and out of nowhere I just started sneezing. So I just made myself some tea. Where's my tea?
We gotta
Let
get
me
you
get
some
my
tea.
tea. Yeah, I made
It
myself.
happens. Yeah, it happens at this time of the year.
Yeah, I'm like, oh Jesus! I was doing just fine,
Come on. Good
and
stuff.
out of nowhere, I got my tissue and tea.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Ready to go. So how are you? How have you been?
I've been really good, just working hard, getting everything in, and so I'm excited about tonight and the show that we got. So I know you hit us with a kind of cool topic that I think everybody would appreciate. So I'm looking forward to it.
Very good. I'm Abby Joseph, your tax strategist.
Yep, and I'm Christopher Bush, your financial advisor,
All right, let's get it rolling.
and welcome to the show. Right, so we're gonna start off like this. Let's see if I can find our intro. Isn't that crazy?
It's okay. I'll be our intro. Listen, welcome to an episode of Redline. Tonight, I have a great show for you guys. I thought it only made sense for you guys to hear it here first than anywhere else in the come up with Chris and Abby with the Redline. IRS has a new free tax filing system. So I thought it only makes sense. You're frozen, Chris.
Oh boy,
Chris.
hold
He
on.
said, "Oh boy." I thought it only makes sense that you that I go over this new this new tax filing system with you guys and go over the pros and the cons. Who should be using this? Who should not be using this? What are the benefit? What are not the benefit? Black seed oil, Abby, has been a favorite since. Yes, I have the pill. I made me some garlic, ginger. What else I put in there? Some black pepper and some honey in this. Hopefully that will help me as well too. Thank you so much, cousin. So yeah, while Chris is trying to get his system together. Yes, so I wanted to go over with you guys this new system that IRS has created. Now, if you guys remember, the government gave IRS a $80 billion funds, and pretty much the idea that what IRS wanted to do with this money is to build one system, two to work on audits, because a lot of people did went for a PPP loan, EIDL loan, right? And a lot of those individuals didn't have an entity, didn't run a business, and this is another reason why you see that they're coming up with BOI. So with BOI, knowing that you have to register your entity now is another reason from the idea of, a lot of people were saying, yes, I have a business. Yes, I'm eligible for the PPP loan, or I'm eligible for the EIDL loan. And in reality, those people didn't have an entity. So make sure you do put it in your calendar that you need to register your business January 1st, 2024, and understand that IRS. Understand that they will charge you $500 per day penalty if you don't register those entities. Now, there is a list of businesses, industries that doesn't need to register, like CPAs, accounting firms. Like I don't have to register mine, right? Banks, you'll find banks doesn't need to register. Insurance companies, brokers, financial advisors, those individuals don't have to register their entity, but you do. Okay, so make sure that you do reach out to your CPA, reach out to your accountant, reach out to your tax strategist, so they can make sure all of our clients are going to receive. We send what's called an end year letter, an end year letter every year, December 31st, to all of our clients. And we're going to make sure that our clients, in the letter, you'll have the link, so you'll be able to register your entity. I don't want you guys to be charged with this $500 penalty. The system will be packed come January 1st. So don't rush to get it done on the 1st. The system will probably crash because every time they create these systems, they usually crash day one. So the system will probably crash. All right. So that's one of a big announcement. So you have BOI. You want to make sure you register your entity. You want to make sure you register all beneficial, anyone that is either a shareholder or partner, as long they own 25%. Of the business, you want to make sure that they do register. Like I was using the example of Serenity, who's my daughter. She only owns 5% of Serenity Financial Services, so I don't have to put her information, right? So information is consists your name, pretty much more of a demographic, your name, your phone number, your address, your social security number, and the percentage, right? And the percentage of that you own and of the company. All right. But that was just to give you an idea, right, of what's going on in 2024. But the biggest news is this new IRS tax-free filing system for 2024. So IRS launched this free tax filing program in 2024 in 13 states. So they're really looking to see if it'll work, right? But I want to give you the pros and the cons of this new system and what you want to look at. The free program was announced on Tuesday with the Internal Revenue. So I've been getting a lot of call about this new system. Hey, Abby, is this a good idea? What should we be expecting? I want you to understand something. When IRS received that $80 billion, there was some clause, there were some things that the government requires IRS to actually start working on. One of them was customer service. Right. Two was accuracy. Right. One of the things was that IRS was extremely behind. Right. So two was making sure that IRS hire enough people to get ahead of the game when it comes to, because IRS is still back up. So part of that $80 billion, part of that fund that the government gave IRS was to hire enough individuals so IRS could get ahead. Three is audit. So IRS is really going to start digging down with audits. So a lot of people between 2019 to 2023, I know you've been chilling. You were part of those PPP loans. You were part of those EIDL loans. You were part of, AIC, individuals that were like taking credits that those credits was not aligned. IRS is going to start getting into those audits. So why it matters. Filing online returns for free could actually reshape how millions of Americans do their taxes. Now, would this also could be helpful? It also have its con. Here's the reason why. IRS is an entity. IRS is not the government. IRS is an entity. So IRS itself is like a third party. So also understands that if IRS is the individual that is responsible to audit your return, does it make any sense to have the person that can audit your return also do your return? That's a scary thing. Where's Chris? Where's Chris? Chris, you left me?
No, I didn't leave you.
Where are you?
Can you see me?
No.
Oh boy. I'm here.
Chris says, "Oh boy." So the real question is, do you think would you hire the person that's supposed to solve the problem, a problem for you? Would you also hire them to create a problem?
No.
So the reason why IRS has opened this door, right, and I would say, if you are a college student and you worked part-time, or if you are an individual with one W-2 and you don't really have much when it comes, you don't have a 1099, you don't have 1098, you don't have depreciations, you don't have assets, you don't have anything that is complicated in the tax world, then yes, I say go for it. To be honest with you, I would prefer if you complete your tax return yourself, then go through the IRS system. And the only reason why I feel like IRS is opening a door to make their audit easier. So, and part of that $1 billion that the government gave IRS, part of that is to actually build system. So they want to actually close the gap, right? When it comes to individuals either doing their own tax return or individuals using a third party, where in reality, you're a third party yourself, IRS. All
So you're
right.
saying, wait, so you're saying not to use the system, or?
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying individuals that have simple W-2s, individuals like, let's just say my daughter worked this summer. I don't think my daughter needs to hire an accountant. Do you?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have to spend the money, don't. So I'm okay. I'm okay. The IRS wants to be able to kind of help build a way for them to kind of be the to-go person when it comes to taxation. But the
Gotcha.
problem for me is that if you are going to be the to-go person, I need someone else to be the to-go person that's going to audit me. You can't do both, because
Gotcha.
now you're going to piggyback of because accountants don't work for IRS, accountants work for you, right? So my thing is, now IRS would be working for you. So it just, when you put your thinking hat on, it needs to make sense. What it doesn't for me is that if IRS then would have to now have the mindset that I work for Christopher, and I'm going to do everything in my power, right, to serve Christopher in Christopher's best interest. But how would that make any sense if I get paid, right, when Christopher messes up?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Not at all.
So I am okay with individuals that have simple tax return. And I'm talking about, you have your simple W-2, you probably have, let me see, a 1098. I would say a 1098, okay, right? With interest from your residential. But the minute you pass with simplicity, then I would actually not go that route. Because if you think of it, IRS is not dumb. IRS is looking at how much money TurboTax is making. IRS is looking at how much money Intuit is making by using this idea of free.
Yeah.
So it wants to enter this system. The only thing is that TurboTax provide that service. The service that IRS provides is the reviewing of our return, is the processing of our return, and finding errors. And so if there is error, then we would actually get audit. Or if there's negligence, if there's, then IRS comes in. So the idea that IRS now is wanting to also be that third party, to me, it throws red flag.
Yeah.
It throws red flag. It's those huge.
So it's different than what they've always had. Because I mean, I could think before, right? Before this, they could go on and file your taxes, though, right? I mean, what's
No,
this?
before they were still using a third party.
Oh gosh, it wasn't their it wasn't their system. I got you. So now it's their system. I got you. Okay.
It's their system, like TurboTax. They literally built a taxation system. So it's so funny because me and my colleagues, we were literally reviewing this and we were like, do you get what I get? We were like, I got it. Do you get it? We're like, yeah, we get it. Now it's kind of like, okay, will the industry get it? Will the world gets it? Because it's the same thing with BOI, right? When FinCEN came out with BOI, listen to the companies that they're saying, or listen to the industries that they're saying that don't need to register. Banks. And then the reason why they're telling us that we need to register these entities in this new system is so they can block money laundering. Banks. Isn't that one of the biggest money laundering industry?
Yeah, absolutely.
Insurance. Isn't that one of the biggest money laundering industry?
Wow.
So so I only say this is to tell you guys, educate yourself, right? Mark always coming and to come up, and Jolene always coming to come up, and everyone in this platform, we're big in educating you. So I want you to also educate yourself while you're looking at this year. Should I try? So there's some clients that are coming to me, and if they are just a simple single W-2, I'm gonna say, hey, listen. It doesn't make any sense for you to pay me any money. Go through IRS system. But what I'm finding as well too that is a little bit scary is that in the whole financial industry, who usually get hurt?
The end user.
No, it's usually the middle class, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, middle class, yeah, absolutely.
It's usually middle class, low income, who usually are impacted the most. So I feel like IRS is going after the middle class. I feel like the system is just, well, I can't, it's just not just IRS, right? TurboTax did it and did an amazing job with the marketing, right? They're going after middle class, and they're going after the individuals, that are not hiring professionals to speak on their behalf.
Exactly.
So this is why you have to do your DDs, right? You have to do your due diligence, and there's always pros to con when it comes to everything. There's always good and there's always bad. So what I find that's good about this system is that these individuals don't have to go to TurboTax. They can go directly through the IRS system, right? But even with TurboTax, here's the thing with TurboTax also have a plan available for you in case you get audited.
Wow.
TurboTax does.
On their own system.
on their system. So TurboTax will have like an EA, TurboTax will hire, because even though TurboTax is TurboTax, they also have professionals. TurboTax hire professionals. So my question is going to be, hey, IRS, are you hiring professionals to do these taxes? Or is this system is just going to generate the basic? Because in the system is not going to tell you, hey, this deduction is available for you. It's not. The system is not going to say, hey, this credit is available for you. Yeah. It's not. It's going to actually complete your return in the most simplest way.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So it's going to do that in the most simplest way. So what I would say is, yes, if you have a simple tax return, do go into the new IRS free tax filing system. So there's a lot of changes. Yeah, there's a lot of changes in 2024. I feel like even like I'm in this group of accountants and CPAs and tax strategists, and we were discussing how we're finding a lot of accountants are retiring. There is a shortage for accountants. There's a shortage for tax preparers. And the reason why is because since COVID, every year these laws just keep changing. Yeah. These laws are keep changing. New things are keep coming. And it's so hard to keep up. So you can only imagine if it's hard for an accountant to keep up, if it's hard for a CPA or tax strategist or for Christopher as a financial advisor, how are you going to keep up with it? So I still say, I don't know anyone, no one in my books that would be eligible to be going through the new IRS free tax filing system. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that it is available to you. And I wanted to go over the pros and the cons of it as well, too. So let me pull up something real quick. And I've also been getting so many questions about BOI and the new tax system. So currently right now it's at 13 states, because even the states, because you have state returns as well too. So so taxpayer in 9 other states without an income tax, like you have Alaska, Florida, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, Wyoming may also be eligible to participate in the pilot. So it is started off as a pilot. I say to you guys, do your due diligence, review it, see what the good and the bad of it. So if your daughter or your son had a summer job and they have a simple W-2, I recommend that you do get to the program with the Internal Revenue. Now, there were some questions that was asked. Now, people was asking me, is IRS using AI to crack down on wealthy potential tax violators? Yes, they are. Of course. Why wouldn't they? And I want you guys to understand, just because we are now being introduced to AI, it doesn't necessarily mean AI was never there.
Yeah,
AI has been here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's more mainstream, right? So I mean,
That's all.
Yeah. This wasn't just discovered.
Yeah. AI been here. AI been here. AI been doing its thing. It's just now they're saying, you know what? Let's make it available for everyone. So it's gonna be easier. I know that IRS did stop for a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to actually come back with the idea of knocking in people's door for audits. So all I'm going to say is the next couple of years, people just going to start receiving letters in the mail.
Yeah.
And just do your due diligence. Like if somebody, if unethically, if somebody is doing things unethically, don't allow them to play with you. Don't allow them to play with your numbers, because at the end of the day, IRS is holding you responsible. So IRS is also, I was doing my my CEs. I have so much more to do. So you want to make sure that whoever you work with is also up to par and what's going on with IRS and all these new laws. Let's see what else is new. Also,
you said the beneficial owner.
Yeah, with BOI, with the new tax filing program. Also, I believe our tax brackets has also changed. So the new project, I think it's gonna take time. So you'll find some people will do their tax return. This is what I'm projecting. Okay, this is just me. This is an assumption. All right, this is what I'm projecting. I'm projecting people are going to go to IRS, the new tax filing system, and they're going to come back and say, oh, I forgot that I had HSA. They're going to say, oh, I forgot this 1099-R I received, right? Now, here's the thing. Whatever that either a third party, either your employer or either your brokerage, or your financials. Remember, IRS receive a copy of those things, right? So then the idea is that the information that you are going to put into IRS, to my understanding, is supposed to kind of like sink in. My biggest question is going to be, hopefully, I'm looking to join some seminars and some conferences so I could just be more educated on it. I'm wanting to know, will AI identify when a client is eligible for credit?
That would be good.
That was so cool. I know Mark would be like, I told y'all, y'all job's gonna be gone.
That would be good.
No, Beverly, I'm not saying that. Let me pull up this question here. Beverly asked, so IRS will not look out for our best interest. It's not that IRS will not look out for your best interest. I always believe that there's always an agenda. So I haven't quite put my finger in. I have an idea what the agenda is. I haven't just quite put my finger on how much is going to impact you guys, if that makes sense. Where I could see it impacting you guys now, I think it opens door for audit. It opens the door for audit for middle class. And it not opens door for audit, but no, it doesn't open the door for audit for middle class. It opened door for audit for the individuals that are not using the system. What it's going to do for the middle class is it closes the door for benefits. Like what benefits that would be available to you, it kind of closes that door. Am I making sense?
So I guess, yeah, I'm kind of confused on that. So you're saying in the as they're putting in their information, if you don't know to check a box, then of course they're not going to tell you, hey, you should check that box, or they're not going to have a questionnaire in the front of the application to say, hey, these are some of the things that you may want to be. They're not going to have that type of system to help a client. It's really just what you know is what you get, and an input, and the output is only as good as its input.
Correct. Just like TurboTax does, right? Yeah. TurboTax consider that self-prepare.
Yeah.
So then, because it is self-prepare, then you have the responsibility, right? You have the response. The minute that I start saying, hey, Beverly, this if you enter this number in this spot, this would be your benefit. This would help you. It's no longer self-prepare. Then someone else is helping you prepare it.
Gotcha.
So the real question is going to be, is that, is IRS going to help me prepare it? And is IRS going to tell me the credits that are available to me? Like, let's just say I click yes. I purchased a Tesla this year. Is IRS going to have a box that says, oh, because you purchased Tesla this year, you are eligible for the EV credit? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because this is where your accountant comes in. This is where your accountant is saying, these are the credits that are available to you. Take advantage of them. I just don't see it making sense for IRS to be telling you that. So how then will they exist? Because then they would just become that third party, meaning they would become that TurboTax. They would become that Jackson Hewitt. They would become that, what's the green one? What's the green one?
H&R Block?
H&R Block. I call it the green one. Does that make sense? So, hey. I find that everything that iOS comes up with, there's usually an agenda, not iOS, the government. There's usually an agenda. So, and I truly think the agenda is to capture the right people. So then if we can handle all of the low income and middle class, then we can focus on auditing the businesses. Because nobody that's running a business is going to be doing their tax return with IRS.
Yeah.
That, Joanne, I think so too, Joanne. I think so too. I actually think IRS is jealous of TurboTax.
Again, they see the opportunity. They understand, right?
They understand the assignment. I think IRS is jealous of TurboTax. Why not? I mean, TurboTax business plan is amazing. Their marketing is amazing. They capture the middle class.
Service. Yep, it's good.
They're good. So my thing is, I actually think IRS is literally saying, hey, you give me this $80 billion. I need to find ways to use it so you don't take this money away from us.
Yeah.
And part of that was for them to build system. Yeah. They are targeting the new entrepreneurs with this BOI, not just the new entrepreneurs, but they're targeting also the individuals that so-called said, I had a business during COVID. So I am eligible for this PPP loan. I am eligible for this EIDL loan. Yeah, because it makes absolutely no sense to me. If we're really talking about money laundering, all these industries that are exempt, they the one that actually really looks like they need to go over.
Yeah.
It is 1 + 1 will always be 2 to me. Always. Now, when it start being -1 or 7 or 5, nah, we're not making sense. Any questions, guys? Any question regarding the BOI? Any questions regarding the new IRS free tax filing system? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna find somebody that have a simple W-2.
And kind of go through the process.
I want to test it. I want to see how AI. I remember having this conversation with Mark, I think like a year and a half ago, regarding the accounting industry and the taxation industry, and how AI is going to come in and kind of like take these a lot of these jobs. But in reality, I think there's only so much that AI can do when it comes to these things. AI can actually create a financial report. Is the financial report accurate? No, it's not. I tried this new system where AI can actually review your books, and it could actually put together a budget, a cash flow. It could do a projection, blah blah blah. And I found a lot of errors. And I don't think, but the errors that I found out was not more of AI, and because I think it's the way we communicate with AI. So I was thinking there's got to be some type of education or a class where somebody can teach you how to communicate with it. Because the only way AI is good is when you can communicate with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The middle class always need help and direction when they're doing their taxes. They do. It just saddens me. I wish it was the other way around. It really saddens me how it's always the middle class and low income that they go after. That's what everybody go after in reality. That's what everybody go after. Any question? I know this is new, guys, and I know this is like a lot of information. I am learning it as you guys are getting it as well too. So as I learn it more, I will make sure that I make sure you guys get some of this information as well. Couple of things just for year end. December 31st is around the corner. You want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row for upcoming tax season. I usually close my books the end of December, sometime in January for clientele. Once we reach our 200, we usually close our books. So do your very best to, if it is that full 401k that you need to add that income into, if it is the SEP, anywhere possible where you can lower your tax liability. Definitely look into that. I'm liking the new tax bracket. Have you looked at it?
No, I haven't. Well, I actually was looking at it as you were on the call.
Really?
It's a lot different from that. I mean, it's when it comes for the 24 and 32% tax bracket is really different from last year, right? 22 to 32, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, AI class sound interesting. Yeah, somebody would really have to know it behind their head to teach us how to speak to it, because I think it would be more effective and more productive if we can speak its language. So then that when we request something from it, because I truly believe the reason why that financial report was inaccurate is because probably the way I asked it. Yeah. So if we can learn how to ask it the right things. But yeah, IRS launching the free tax filing program in 2024 is interesting. And I'm excited to see what comes out of it. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's good to see you, Chris.
It's good to see you. So we got some good stuff coming. So thank you for the tonight show. I'm really breaking that down for us. So I'm excited and looking forward for next week. And we got the holidays coming up, so everybody should be with family and spending time, enjoying the time, relaxing, right? Just a little bit, right? I know we always kind of work so hard, but I think times when family can get together is super important. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome. That's very good. If I don't see you guys, happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you enjoy your family. And make sure you guys enjoy one another. What do average tax service cost these days outside of TurboTax and free system? Johnny, it all depends on. I would say the average. I'm gonna pull that up for you. There is. I did read. I know I was looking at that myself, and I did read an article with the average um, tax return costs. I did see something. It all depends on the state, but you're looking at between $220 for a 1040 without itemized deduction. The average is about 220. With itemized, it's about 323, 330. For Form 1040 with a Schedule A. The average for a S corp is about $900, $1,000, and with a C corp usually start at with 1,200 or more. Yeah, that makes sense. So I would say don't get audited because you didn't want to spend $200 or $300. Don't have IRS go back 8 years. IRS can go back 8 years, Chris. 8 years. Don't have IRS go back 8 years just to look at your errors. Don't do that. Find that $350 and get your tax return done, okay?
And get it and make it happen.
Make it happen. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night, a wonderful Merry Christmas, and a happy holiday. Thank you so much, Chris. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.